racing conditions were close to perfect. The only thing that was really going to present an issue for the runners here was the wind, as the gust speeds were about 10 kilometers per hour, and it was blowing directly into the athletes as they were getting started. But given that much worse weather can be present in Boston, this is quite the nice day for a marathon, and with conditions looking pretty solid, it did not take long at all for this race to unfold. Through the opening 5 kilometers, the field split a blistering time of 14 minutes and 17 seconds, which is almost exactly 2-hour finishing pace for the marathon. This opening 5K represents an overall pace of 2 minutes 51.4 seconds per kilometer, or 4 minutes 35.84 seconds per mile. So yeah, these guys were moving through this opening 5 kilometers, but it wasn't all that surprising given that this was a completely downhill portion, but still it was very exciting to see the pace start off red hot. Through this early stage, the field still had about 15 athletes hanging up front, but as the following kilometers approached, the field would only get smaller and smaller. Through the 10-kilometer split, the pace was still super quick, as they split a time of 28 minutes and 52 seconds. Overall, the pace had slowed slightly, but they were still running at a pace of 2:53 per kilometer or 4:38 per mile. However, it was quite obvious that the pace was starting to slow down, and in large part, this was because the rain was officially making an appearance. This opening 10 kilometers was still very quick, but at this point, the course record of Jeffrey Mutai was starting to slip away, as their projected finish was around 2 hours and 4 minutes. And even though this potential course record was becoming less and less likely, the competition up front was still extremely strong, with none other than Kipchoge leading the way. Approaching the half-marathon split, the field was still about 12 athletes strong, including Connor Mance from the United States, CJ Albertson from the United States, Vincent Kipruto from Kenya, Evans Chebet from Kenya, and also Eliud Kipchoge, the world record holder in the marathon. At this point, most of these front athletes were still looking quite comfortable, and with a half-marathon split time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 19 seconds, the field was officially through the halfway point. Now, by the half-marathon split, the conditions had officially gotten much, much worse, with the rain now clearly affecting the runners up front. Now, they were still moving quite well, but the course record at this point was almost completely out of reach. Through the 30-kilometer mark, the field hit a time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 23 seconds, an overall pace of 4:48 per mile, or 2:58 per kilometer. But then, something completely unthinkable happened. Gabriel GEAY from Tanzania made a huge surge just after the 1 hour and 30-minute mark, and upon making this move, not only did nobody else go with him, but Eliud Kipchoge fell to the back of the pack very quickly. Initially, this wasn't super concerning, because GEAY's move was clearly a very quick surge, but over the following few minutes, Kipchoge only continued to fall more and more off of the lead. By the 35-kilometer mark, Evans Chebet was now pushing very strong up front, with Vincent Kipruto and John Career following close behind. And through this 35-kilometer split, they hit a time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 19 seconds. And for Eliud Kipchoge, he hit a time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 32 seconds, more than a full minute off of the lead pack. Given Kipchoge's undisputed GOAT status and his recent world record from 2022, this drop was definitely unexpected, and even though he was clearly struggling at this point, the race up front was shaping up to be extremely competitive. After passing through 35 kilometers, it was now down to Evans Chebet and Gabriel GEAY, both running extremely fast in the lead, with Vincent Kipruto also hanging on about 10 seconds behind. With just a few kilometers remaining in this race, it was now Evans Chebet clearly in the lead, and battling for second was Gabriel GEAY and Vincent Kipruto. But the pace of Chebet up front was just too much for anyone else to handle, as he glided away from the pack over the final few kilometers. And with a final mile of right around 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Evans Chebet won this race in 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 54 seconds, successfully defending his title in the Boston Marathon. Finishing in second with a very impressive close was Gabriel GEAY in 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 4 seconds, barely edging out Vincent Kipruto, who finished just a few seconds behind. Now, this race was quite historic for the obvious reason that Kipchoge did not win, but we have to give credit where credit is due. Despite clearly not having his day, Kipchoge still finished this race, and he maintained his form over the final stages, finishing in 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 23 seconds, a 6th place finish for the Boston Marathon.